Hey guys, this is Dark Prince. Hope you're all having a happy Sunday. Mine was definitely a good one, courtesy of Steelers beating the Browns in Cleveland. Definitely a good game, which they played really well. Moving on to the stocks, I did get few tickers on StockBits on Twitter to do some DD on them. I also have did a couple of DDs on the stocks that I have been holding position since last week. So I'll go over them real quick. A couple of them EVFM and AVCT. I'm not going to cover in this video. I've already posted them on StockBits on Twitter. So I'm going to cover over rest of the stocks, which some of them I don't have a position yet, but I did look at the chart and it looked really, really appealing for me. I'll start with RGS, Regis. All the three SMAs are above right now the current price. Definitely in a downtrend at this point of time. But then what I see is with the Bollinger Band in play, the MACD curling up and moving onto the positive territory, the RSI is slowly curving up. I feel like it is consolidating around this 260, 270 range. And guess what? I looked at the EMA 200, which is at 2.94, and it perfectly aligns with the BB pivot. That is also at 2.94. You see how that line disappeared because that line is traveling along with the 20 SMA. And the BB pivot, the SMA 20, and also the EMA 200, all pointing to that 2.9495. And in order to prove a reversal here, it needs to curl its way up along with this MACD and over RSI going up. It needs to break that 2.95 and eventually the 3 points, the 3.20s, which is also the top end of the BB channel. Look how the BB channel is narrowing. And with all these indicators being so bullish, I have a feeling that this is going to make a big move, especially with the history that indicates that it has big moves in the past, like from here from four-ish to all the way over to what, $13. That is three times from 2.6. That'll be great. But then first things first, 2.6 need to consolidate, need to hold that trend line. See if you can break that 2.9495 and stay over the EMA 200 to do a reversal. And the risk reward here is very much in favor of the bulls here at this point of time, when especially if you load in this zone where it is consolidating right now. Obviously, it needs to maintain the 2.64. But when I look at a healthy RSI move up, MACD move up, and then it has already tested the $3 mark in the last week. And if it can continue to hold this 260 and move over the 294, which is the magic number, 294, 295, and 322 on the top end too, we have a big stock on our hand, a big potential. I don't know how far this is going to go. With the history, it can go really, really high. But let's wait and watch on this RGS. All right, I'll move to the next one, which is SBET. I like this chart as well. There was a double bottom here on this. And when I look at this chart again, below all three SMAs, I did look at them. All the three SMAs are on top of the current price action. There's a double bottom coming into play at this point with 3.5. Did have a reverse split a few months back, and then I think that's why this price could be totally different from where it was. The Bollinger Band is pretty wide at this point, from 3.49 to 4.75. Definitely at the bottom of the Bollinger Band at this point. The thing that we really need to watch is the EMA 200, which is at $4. So 3.77, $4, that could potentially mark a good reversal. It is already at an oversold. It is clearly under 30. MACDs really don't indicate much here on the daily. But when I look at this chart with the double bottom in play and with the kind of spikes that I'm seeing here, this is a very tempting chart for me. Bollinger Band is pretty still wide, like I said, so there is always a potential to have more volatility here until it settles down at a price. Let's see where it holds this week. I like it kind of slowing down here, occasional hammers, but I would like to see this chart hold this 3.45, 3.5, and then curl its way up. So I'm going to keep an eye on this stock for sure, especially with the RSI being at the 30s. And I think the resistance, if it reverses from here, the resistance that I'm looking at are 4.57, 5.35 and $7 all the way up to $7 from here, which is 100%. You're talking about 100% here. All right, I'll move to the next one. XELA, XELA. I've already given a video chart analysis on this before the spike happened. I think it was 2 weeks back, somewhere around this range, because I liked what it can offer, and it did really prove that it has the capacity and the potential. The good thing on the XELA chart, it is over the 20 SMA, which is at 1.73, and the 50 SMA is at 2.01. That's where I think the resistance came into play. And the 200 SMA is at 2.23. Again, a resistance zone there as well. But definitely a strong support coming into play here. And I think the 1.8 is going to be the first line of support. Then comes the 20 SMA and comes the 1.67. These three zones should act as a good support in order to continue to move in the upward direction. When I look at the EMA 89 and 200, very bullish. Let me show you a chart here. You see how the trend is here. It has been below that EMA 89 and 200 since September all the way down here. And now we are in November, and look at those moves. Big ones, came down again briefly, went up again. It's now holding this EMA now, EMA 200 now. Rather, this is EMA 89 and this is EMA 200. So I would like to see this chart bounce off these EMAs and stair step and go higher. And how higher it can go? 2.69, 3.55. These are the resistances that I've given in my previous video, not in this video. So I'm still looking for those resistances to be tested if we continue to do a stair step, continue to stay over the EMA 89 and 200. So the key here is these are the support lines that it needs to hold, and also the EMAs that needs to move along with the current price or everyday price action. Definitely a bullish chart. The numbers are key when it comes to being a bull or a long here. All right, I'll move to the next one, which is gonna be METX, METX. Fan favorite chart, I guess. We all bought this in the 31, 30, 29. And then, of course, I did sell at the first resistance at 41 and then later at 57, 56. After that, I never really went into this stock. Although when it came down crashing on the other day, I did tell in our server that 38.40 is going to be a good load zone. Guess what? It did really work out well. I was able to make good chunk there. It went all the way over the previous resistance of 70 and hit 74. The only thing that I don't like about this chart is, a lot of red candles. I really don't like red spikes. I like to see stair steps more. And those long candles talk about more volatility here. The good thing is, it did break out of the trend line. Look at all this 50 SMAs and 20 SMAs. It's trading way over that. Currently, the resistance is at 75 and 95. RSI is also on the high. The good thing is on this chart is the EMAs, the 89 and 200 is all well below the current price. So it is on a very good reversal here. And I would like to see these numbers continue to go up if it has to continue in a bullish trend. So keep the EMA 89 and EMA 200 handy and see how this price falls into these clouds and then, bounce from there. So stair steps is the name of the game if it has to continue being in the bullish zone. All right. What's my next one? Oh boy. SQL. Did I not say this? That this is consolidating so much that there is an explosive move coming up in the last week's video. $5 from 3.5, 3.6 to $5. You're talking about 50%, 40 to 50% if you were scaling out. So definitely a great chart, great move. Although I didn't like that it came all the way back to 360. More day traders, in my opinion. So that's why it could have come back. I looked at the Bollinger Band. It is in a very tight zone. 3.36, 3.6, and 3.9. Now, having trend lined along the bottom of the Bollinger Band, now the pivot is coming into play. So the 3.6 pivot is going to be really, really key. The MACD is still positive. The RSI is not oversold as it was earlier. The key things would be the EMA 89 and the EMA 200, which is around the 379, 373 mark. And I think the resistance is coming at 410 and 440. Those would be the resistances that we need to watch out. All right. So SQL, definitely the one that I would like to reload again. I'll let you guys know when I add them back. Currently, I'm out of this position. I did take my gains as it went up over the $445 mark. A pretty good winner last week, guys. So if you played this out, good one, but definitely a stock that is to be watched for the long run. All right, I'll move to the next one. One of my favorite swings, EZFL Holdings, EZFL. That's a ticker symbol. Very good move. Stair steps. Although, like I said, 2.94 was tested and it did come down from that. That is the EMA that I was talking about earlier. Now, the EMA 200 is at 3.05, but definitely a good stair step after all this downtrend that it has been going through. Now I think it has found a base 2.65, 2.7, and I don't think it ever came below 280 in the last 2 days. Good volume too, a lot of eyes on this. And I think the first target would be to break the pivot and get into the upper channel at 3.5. I think it's going to do for sure. 3.56 is a gap fill zone. Over that, remember these numbers, 4.4, 4.8, 5.4. That is what it is going to do. Right now, the EMA 200 is still above the current price. As you can see, I'm going to post this on StockTwits on a daily basis to track this bullish movement. So the resistances are way over 3.56. So definitely RR, the risk reward is in favor of the bulls here. All right, folks, what's the next one? Next one is BDR, Blonder Tongue. I took a position on this on Friday around the 110-ish. Support is over 1 and also worst case around 90 cents. The EMA 200 is somewhere around 1.07. The Bollinger Band is very, very tight on this at this point with 20 cent range, 97, 1.07 and 1.17. The good thing, MACD has curled up. That's why you see these 3 bullish candles, and that's why I wanted to take a position on this. Definitely the RSI is also curling up. What I like about this chart, if I just clean everything over here, this is what I like about the chart. 3.8, the top, there was somewhere in August last year. And ever since then, it has made some big moves from the bottom channel. That's all I care at this point. There is a top trend line that is coming here from all the way from 233 to 180-ish and now what, somewhere around 160-ish. But I think from here, when I just look at 90 cents and $1, the moves that it can make are pretty high. The reward compared to the risk is very, very high here. And with the MACD curling up, a lot more bids came in on Friday. I saw good numbers on the level 2. We are looking at 160, 190, 233. Why not 380? So I'm keeping in the swing position on a good monitor. I'm going to add more if and when I get the dips, and I'm going to see if this can continue along this trend line and see if it can bounce and try the 150, 160 range. And I will also keep an eye on the EMA 200 on the hourly and the MACD as well. This got a lot of potential on hand right now because of all the history that has gone into BDR. And this is not the first time that I'm trading this. I've traded this many times and I know this accurately enough. And look at all those history candles here. So all I care right now is loading up this bottom zone, see if it can bust through that 160 plus and 230 and more than that. So still loading. So any dips, I'm going to take this up this week. Let's see how this plays out for us. All right. You all take care. Have a good night. We'll talk more next week. Thank you guys. Bye.